In a small, forgotten village, where the roads were dusty and opportunities were rare, there lived a young boy named Yusuf. He was born into poverty, in a house made of weak walls and a leaking roof. Every day was a struggle. Food was never guaranteed, and comfort was something he had never known. But even in the middle of that hardship, Yusuf carried something powerful inside him, a dream that refused to die. While other children played without worries, Yusuf often sat quietly, looking far into the distance, imagining a different life. A life where he could help his family, where he could change his future, where he could prove that his situation did not define him. People around him didn't understand. They would laugh and say, "How can a boy like you dream so big?" But Yusuf never argued. He simply held on to his dream tighter. Every morning, before the sun rose, Yusuf would wake up to help his family. He worked long hours doing small jobs, carrying water, cleaning, doing anything he could to support his home. His hands were tired, his body was weak, but his mind was strong. Even after a long day, when everyone else rested, Yusuf would find a quiet corner and try to learn. He didn't have books of his own, so he borrowed when he could. Sometimes he would even write on the ground when he had no paper. There were many moments when life tested him. Days when he felt like giving up. Days when hunger made it hard to even think. Days when his efforts seemed useless. But every time he felt weak, he remembered his dream. He remembered why he started. And that gave him strength to continue. As the years passed, nothing seemed to change from the outside. He was still poor, still struggling, still unnoticed. But inside, something was growing. His knowledge, his discipline, his belief, they were becoming stronger every single day. He began to see opportunities where others saw nothing. He began to think differently. One day, a small chance came into his life. It wasn't big, and many people would have ignored it. But Yusuf saw it as the beginning. He gave it everything he had. He worked harder than ever before, using every lesson he had learned during his hardest days. And slowly, that one small opportunity started opening doors. Step by step, his life began to change. Not overnight, not suddenly, but steadily. The same people who once laughed at him now looked at him with respect. The same boy who had nothing was now becoming something. Not because life was easy, but because he never gave up on his dream. Years later, Yusuf stood as a man who had transformed his life completely. He was no longer the poor boy people pitied. He was an example, a reminder that where you start does not decide where you finish. His success was not built on luck, but on pain, patience, and persistence. And when people asked him, "How did you do it?" he would simply smile and say, "I never let go of my dream, even when everything told me to." Because the truth is simple. It doesn't matter how poor you are, how small you start, or how many people doubt you. If your dream is big enough and your heart is strong enough, you can rise above anything. Yusuf's story is proof that even the poorest boy can build the greatest future if he refuses to stop believing.